All right, guys. So listen, this is Jay Combs, Coach Jay Combs out of Knoxville, Tennessee. We are coming a little delayed today. We had a little technical difficulties, but you know what? We don't quit. So listen, most people in this business would have gave up and they'd have said, listen, we're going to try this next week. But we persevered through and we are live. I'm super excited to announce my guests, Jason and Kayla from Arizona. They are absolutely crushing it. I met them in Nashville at one of the Sync Masterminds. It was so funny. So I'm over here. I was sitting in the group, and I'm judging like everybody, like who they are, what they're about. And I see Jason with his hat on, and he's like wearing some sport gear. And I'm thinking, okay. So I'm wondering who's the players and who's not. Who's sitting here and who's out just trying to take some notes. And of course, like I see him, I'm like, this guy's chilled and relaxed. He's over here trying to learn some nuggets. And needless what happened is they were one of the guys that were going out and sharing what they've been able to do. Guys, how long have y'all been with JK?
Well, we opened JK in 2007, which is probably the worst time to open up a real estate brokerage, but we definitely persevered. But we started real estate when we were about 2003. We got our license in the same day, and opened up our own brokerage back in 2007. Man, it's been rolling ever since.
That's incredible. So, guys, these guys are absolutely crushing it. I met them at the mastermind, and they started talking about like unique marketing strategies and video content. And I'm thinking, man, this makes sense. I've thought about this before. And you know, it's funny, guys, and this will be a story that you guys will can relate to. In 2016, when I went to my first real estate conference, and I found this out today, I looked in the very back of one of my books, and it said, get a full-time videographer and budget their wage in. And this is when I've been in the business for just a matter of months. And it's so crazy to watch things come to reality. So I saw what they were doing marketing, and really you guys are one of the reasons that we're here today, that we're on this podcast. So I'm very grateful. You too, my man. Listen, you're the guy who makes it happen, just like Brian. So guys, I want to go and ask a couple of questions about you guys, and then we're going to dive right in. So JK Realty is the company, and you guys are based out of Arizona. What part of Arizona?
We're in Gilbert, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix. It's Maricopa County, huge county. We're growing rapidly. We've got about 3,000 net individuals moving here every month. We shovel sunshine, so it is a beautiful place to live, and I think that the real estate market is just flourishing. But like Jason had mentioned, one of the things that we've been able to do throughout our real estate career is adapt, because that's the name of the game, adapt or die. Stephen Hawking. Yeah, he said, he has a quote that I just love that says, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. And so we definitely have changed over the years using video. I'm looking over at Tom. He is one of our full-time videographers. Robert and Tom produce all of the content that you see JK do. And so it's just been really neat to implement some of these innovative, creative strategies into our business. And what we're most excited about is that, what I think most people don't understand about the video and the content and the pushing it out is that it is only going to get bigger. We are just
we're at the
very edge of all of this. And so we love being kind of out there paving the way. I love it because people are able to get inspired. And what usually happens is they see what we're doing and they take it and run with it. And we love that. So
absolutely.
So really neat.
Absolutely. So for the audience, for my audience in particular, tell everybody kind of where you guys are at right now, live time as far as production, about the agent growth, because most people, here in the East Tennessee market don't know of you guys yet.
Sure. So Jason and I, we own the brokerage. It's called JK Realty, and we really set out to inspire other entrepreneurs to just really get after their dreams. We felt that everyone talks about the systems, the strategies, the how-to, but very few individuals or companies in particular are really going after the true motivators of growth. And so we decided to build an environment for optimal success where agents could come in here and do whatever they wanted to do with their real estate career, and we weren't going to place any limits on them. And so it's been a really beautiful thing just to work alongside so many other successful entrepreneurs. It's beautiful to watch all of the success happening all around us and just to be a part of that. And so, yeah, we work with amazing agents that are out there implementing the strategies that we're doing, putting themselves out there, building not only a real estate business, but we always say it's about building this life that you love. It's not just about selling homes. It's so much more than that. It's about really using real estate as a vehicle to live your best life. And so, yeah, it's
just great, man. Like our team here is just incredible. We're doing a lot of cool things in the market. A lot of our agents are following suit too, and it's just really beautiful to see. And even agents like you, all the way in Nashville, hiring a videographer. A couple other guys from Sync hiring videographers, and I feel
that's like super humbling, by the way, because. So we're huge followers of Gary Vee, which I'm sure many of you following along are as well. And I think that one of the things that we love about Gary Vee is he talks about document, don't create. And he does talk a lot about just using your Instagram stories to do that documentation. So you don't need to hire a videographer, a producer, editor to do your content, but you get to a point in your business where it just makes sense.
Sure.
And so we got to that point in our business. At the time, I was heavily using Snapchat. So were you.
Yep.
We were using Snapchat. It was before Instagram adopted stories. So we were using Snapchat to document our days. And what we realized is that is a job in and of itself, right? Because you're having to take those breaks and put yourself out there.
Yep.
And so bringing in someone to do that piece for us just made sense. And it was really neat to see how we shared that in Nashville. And then you just grabbed, you're like, that's smart. I'm going to do it. And I know you're a smart guy.
Well, so
you showed up in Vegas with your videographer. So yeah, we're pretty stoked to see that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cool.
Took action,
absolutely.
Man.
So
that's what it's all about, right? Taking action.
Of course, man. So I was creating an ad on Wise Hire. Like when you guys were talking, I was like, okay, I'm going to get after this. And I think that, I was on the radio the other day and we were talking about, this is following Las Vegas. And I was talking about the people who grow the most and the people, in my opinion, that are growing the most are the people that are taking ideas and implementing them immediately. And I think that so many people are afraid to share with what's working and they're afraid to share with what's going on. And it's sad because here's the fact on that. Most people will never take action, right?
Okay.
Like most people are never going to go out and implement in video. Out of the 40 that were there, there's 2 of us maybe that went and got camera guys. And I mean, really, who thinks to budget that in their game plan. So I think, the implementation, guys, I know that you guys are, I appreciate you guys being super humble about that, but tell the audience kind of as far as what you guys are doing as far as number of transactions annually and how many agents you guys have been able to recruit during using the methods that you guys use.
Well, so here's the thing. And, it's interesting because most of the time I'm humble. I can get on a roll with our successes. We've had a ton of success. I mean, we're self-made millionaires. We started from absolutely nothing, just a lot of hustle and heart. And I mean, just this past weekend, we were at our second home in the mountains. It was snowing. It was gorgeous. I was able to invite up a very dear friend and her children and just have this beautiful time. And yes, we have grown. Our banking accounts have grown. Our agent count has grown. Yes, all of the successes come. In fact, successes come that you don't even understand or see that are coming. Steve Jobs has a quote that I absolutely love. He says, "You can't connect the dots looking forward." And we have incredible things. Jason's negotiating a $125 million deal right now as we speak.
That's insane.
So yes, success, numbers, agents, it's all growing. It's all amazing. And I think though, what's most important though is impact. Because income is great, but impact is even better.
Sure.
And when we see the ripple that we're having in the marketplace, not just on a local level, but national level, it's super humbling. We know we're on the right track. We're doing some really big things. I think I don't know if you noticed in Vegas, E.T., the hip hop preacher, he took center stage and was asking everybody, what's next? And I told him, what's next for me is I want to open a real estate company for Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
And that's something that I would absolutely crush. And I'm excited for that.
And I think what's important too is like when you actually verbalize what you want, I think it sets something in motion. You know, it just when you start to say things, it'll start setting things in motion. And when Kayla got up and said, I want to open up a real estate company for Gary V right in front of 600, industry leaders. It
shakes the business, right?
Yeah, right. So
he gets excited. It's super fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I noticed that, and I was thinking that. So like I wrote down. It's you say that. So I remember when I first got into the business, I sat down with I started with a bigger box company, and I sat down with them and I told my goals. And they're like, oh, that's a big goal, and acted like it may be achievable and it may not. And I remember I wrote down my goals, and I absolutely crushed it in my first 8 months. And I wrote down my second year goal, and I absolutely crushed that, just destroyed it. And then I'm looking at where we're at now, and that's what people don't realize. Like you guys, y'all's success, you guys are just like anybody else, humble, and there's no secret pill to y'all's success. So that leads me to a couple questions. I want to ask you guys a couple questions. I like to get to know my people on a second level. What is y'all's favorite word?
My favorite word.
Favorite word. What was that?
Document.
Document. And what's the significance behind that?
Word. Just one word.
Yeah.
Blessed, yeah. Grateful, super grateful, man. I gotta say super in front of it, but
so
grateful.
It's the two words.
I think that's the key, right? I mean, I think really, we believe in energy. We believe in the feeling the way you want to feel ahead of those feelings, right? Like so, we're constantly trying to. Just feel grateful for everything we have, because come on, like we have so much opportunity everywhere we look, and gratefulness is all part of it, and I think it comes from feeling grateful even when maybe you don't feel grateful inside, and going to that feeling,
for sure,
because I think there's a lot of times where life will spit you out and chew you up and spit you out. And, if you stay there, you feel sorry for yourself, you start, you go down that rabbit hole, more of that will come. But sure. I think just switching it up, going to gratefulness, man, just constant gratefulness. Things will start to come your way. You just,
like $125 million.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that,
speaking
of that, absolutely. So one of my mentors told me, this is a couple years ago when I really started to realize what was out there, what the capabilities were, and it was like where your mind goes, energy flows, right? So if you see it, you can do it. So tell me this, guys. So tell all the audience. You guys are super animated characters. What's your guys' favorite superhero?
I should have read your questions beforehand.
So,
should have.
Superhero, Kayla. She's Superwoman right here.
Smart guy.
I see you getting brownie points.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I see you getting brownie points. I love it, guys. That's hysterical. Well, let's dive right in. Kind of tell everybody about y'all's marketing strategy. The topic is creative marketing strategy. What if you guys can shorten and condense it down for a viewer? What does y'all's marketing strategy look like?
Document. We are documenting everything.
Yeah.
We're using Instagram stories. We do, 6 to 18 stories a day. We make sure that they're cross-posting on our Facebook. Engagement. We're engaging a lot on social media. We see a lot of opportunity on Instagram with the stories, with hashtagging, also on LinkedIn. Facebook is still awesome. Yeah,
I would just say to you, for your audience, LinkedIn, man. LinkedIn is on fire right now. I mean, the content on LinkedIn and the ability to connect with so many leaders in industry, juggernauts, like just through the private messaging. Man, there's just so much opportunity, and I think using those private messages are so powerful.
Well, yeah. So with the LinkedIn, we really see that as being maybe like a higher level relationship building device.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've just recently started doing is tapping into LinkedIn. I mean, I never utilized it as a tool, but a lot's kind of changed with LinkedIn. You can now add video. You can now add story, or not stories, but you can add a lot more. It used to be kind of like, in my opinion, like Twitter. You can only post a little bit of things. So they're opening it up across the board. Let's talk about being strategic. If you're going to give anything to the audience, like being strategic on what you guys are posting. Obviously, you guys are documenting everything, but let's just say that y'all's broadband's a lot wider than most. But as far as being strategic with your social media strategy, elaborate a little bit on that.
So I think a lot of, really because we're kind of documenting who we are in the moment all the time, I think that if you really want to talk about being strategic with your social media, that goes back to like who you are as a person. And so what Jason and I are really doing and focusing on is a lot of just internal work, right? It's a lot of working on ourselves. We're meditating. We're listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza a lot right now. He's got some really great, fascinating books. You Are the Placebo, Becoming Superhuman. And because of our strategy of documenting, what we know is that when you put yourself out there, no matter what, no matter who you are, good person, bad person, doesn't matter, you're going to send out a vibration, and that will attract people to you. And so for us, what we're really passionate about right now is just raising our vibration, raising the energy that we emit into the world, so that we can really, attract and vibe back the higher level energies
and relationships, right? I mean, and that's why we're now, just there. I mean, there's just amazing things happening when you can put your mind to the things that you actually that you want. You focus on those things constantly, and they will start showing up in your life, and it's incredible. And people say it's hokey, but whatever.
People say
go ahead and say it's hokey because it's working for me.
Watch me manifest. Watch me keep manifesting.
About 3 months ago, I started to have some conversations with some wealth managers talking about what they buy as far as multifamily projects, and I started seeing the numbers and seeing the commissions and going, wow, I want to sell that. And how do I get that, right?
We've all seen the meme that says it's just extra zeros.
Yep, and it's true.
It is. It's just extra zeros. And what's interesting, though, this is a quick little plug for Sync. We found one of our agents on our team found this buyer as a Sync lead.
Wow. Yeah, it actually wasn't the buyer, but it was his connection to the buyer that buys, $100 million. And $200 million, $400 million deals.
The point is when I hear agents say shit like leads are bad or opportunities aren't out there or this is shit, well, you know what? Guess what you're going to get? You're going to get bad leads.
Yeah.
You're not going to do anything. You're not
you're going to get shit. If you focus on that, that's what you're going to get. And so like what we have just really, like you had mentioned earlier that there's no difference between any of us. We are all the same. We are all on this human journey. Sure, some of us may have competitive advantages, but I can assure you, we haven't.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't. We started from the bottom with nothing.
I had a similar situation. We just where your mind goes, energy flows. I mean, I can say that 15 times. If you guys haven't, y'all need to write that down. But I saw a lead, and I just started, looking up the person who it was, and it was this doctor. It was just a random sync lead that came through, and we followed up with it for 120 days, right? And consistently followed up with that lead. And just so happens at 12 o'clock 2 nights ago, that lead says, I want to go see this $900,000 house. Well, the $900,000 house doesn't work for them. They needed to buy the $1.1 million house. Oh, and by the way, I've got to sell my $800,000 house. Oh, and by the way, I'm bringing my friend who has to sell her $400,000 house to buy a $600,000 house. Oh, pity me, my leads suck.
Right.
Right?
Right.
All over to the bank.
So I'm like, for the agents that are out there that feel that way about the business, do us all a favor and just get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Well, I'm so excited. So I started our January started about 45 days ago, right? For us in my office, I said, you guys got to start getting your mind right. Like the holidays is a time frame where you guys can go out and get market share, where we can go out and separate ourselves, because everyone else is going to go and chill and sit down with their family and relax, where it is time for us to go out and maximize on it. And we've already got $2 million under contract. We had $2 million under contract before December 1st, for January, which is going to be one of the better months for us starting in January, because at the pace that we're going, I mean, hell, we could have a $6 million month, in January, for a 4 or 5 person team. So I want to get to a little bit there. So you guys are obviously very heavy in the video. So am I. And I tell every one of my vendors and everything, I was like, listen, that's where it goes. That's where it's going. People can feel, people can see, people can, literally gravitate to video because it's real life. It's not scripted, and people can actually see your energy. They can feel your enthusiasm, and your body language shares a story. But before you guys got heavy into video, what model were you guys using for lead generation prior to that?
We were obviously using Facebook. As far as like for sales or for recruiting, a lot of what we're doing right now is recruiting. Recruiting top agents that are crushing it in the marketplace, and I think before Facebook. Well, are you saying before Facebook or?
Well, we've always we've been Boomtown.
Yeah, we've used Boomtown conversion, all sorts of internet leads,
paid leads, geographic lead farming. We've done expired systems. I think that what we've always been really good at is consistency. And so, to me, there are many ways to have a successful real estate business. And so it's all about just finding the one that works for you. Some agents are really good at open houses. They crush it on open houses. And some agents aren't, right? I don't project my limitations of prospecting funnels onto people. If it works for them, great. If it doesn't, then let's find what does.
Yeah, talking about energy. We can have, you can have two agents, one that loves to do open houses and it works all the time, and they crush it on open houses. And then you can have an agent that hates open houses, and they go to an open house and they suck at it. Like no one
shows up.
Why is that? It's because of the energy, right? If they believe that they're going to go to an open house and they're going to create something, it's going to happen. If they believe that they're going to go to an open house and waste their time, they're going to waste their time and nothing's going to happen. But it's that vibration that they're putting out, man.
Isn't that ironic though? Like I'm a huge believer in open houses. I think that it's a great way to generate business. You can connect with what I found most productive as a listing specialist is I can connect with other agents, buyers, and talk to them real time, and I can tell them why they need to buy my house versus their agent that I don't trust to close the deal. I can have that live FaceTime, and I'm not doing anything that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm like, listen, man, go talk to your agent, but you better write an offer on this place because it's going to be gone tomorrow. And I've written on the spot probably 4 or 5 contracts on a Sunday on the spot. I'm like, listen, we're closing down this open house and writing a contract on the spot. In fact, I closed on one last week, and what makes me so mad is we ran out of agents to have an opportunity. And so we allowed another team's agent to come run an open house for us. And we had an agent that was sick. I said, listen, you should have not been sick and you should have got there because they wrote a deal on a $350,000 house. Boom. 2 hours spent with the client, and then now I'm writing a $350,000 offer. It's crazy, right?
I love it. I love hearing stuff like that.
What about, so anybody that's on that trajectory, or really anyone that's growing a business, like for me, I struggle with the day-to-day operations and scaling everything and leveraging things out. Like I'm a control freak, so it's been hard for me to let go of things. What has been y'all's biggest hurdle to get to where you guys are at today?
I think that definitely operations are something that are tricky to scale, but there are a lot of things that are making it easier, especially in the real estate realm. I would say, for me, what's been hardest are the mental monkeys.
Staying in a positive place.
Staying in a good mindset.
I think that's everyone, though. I think that's anyone that knows success is like just keeping your mindset in a positive mindset. Because I think there's so many obstacles that will come at you every day. That you get negatives and positives, and you can either stay in those, you can stay in the positive or you can stay in the negative, and wherever you go, more of that's going to show up in your life.
Well,
we just truly believe that.
We do believe it, and I think that the unique part about what we're doing, about what you're doing, and you've been documenting now for about a month.
About 60 days.
60 days, wow. Yeah. Okay, 60 days. Wow, good job.
Apparently I gotta hit you guys and start targeting you guys better.
Yeah, right. No, well,
I'm dropping.
Sorry, we are. That's the interesting thing. Like the amount of time that you have to engage and be present on your digital platforms decreases exponentially as your business grows. And so that's been a challenge for sure. But yeah, so I think that when you're putting yourself out there in the capacity that we are and that you are, we really do make ourselves easy targets. And interesting, like, have you experienced that yet?
Oh yeah, listen. So like now, like so my personality type is I've got 2 modes. I've got to sleep, and I've got like as fast as I can go until I die. And really that's how I am. Like my fiance, she can take a little while getting up, but when I wake up, I'm like, okay, let's go grab a cup of coffee. And normally right here, like I let her sleep and it's pitch black, and that's where I'm getting my juices going. And so immediately, I've started already taking massive action. We've got probably already another 40 videos uploaded to YouTube on one of my channels, and I've got another 15 or 20 that's uploaded to another channel. And so I go out and I share a video with my entire MLS, right? Like, talk about being vulnerable. I'm going to go out and broadcast a video to everyone that probably doesn't like me because, I'm new to the business and making things happen. And I get one guy who calls me a fucking prick. And so I comment back to him. And the first thing I'm like, I want to dig into him, right? Like, I want to put him in his place because, he's just that type of person anyway. And I said, man, so I think I sleep on it. And this is at like 12:30 at night. And, on where you unsubscribe, you can actually track on how people unsubscribe. And I in the first video that I put out, I said, listen, I want all you guys to unsubscribe. Anyone that's not going to value my content needs to go anyways. And so I put a huge button that says unsubscribe. And in the comment below, he said something like that, something to those lines. And so I went, and of course he wasn't expecting me to go literally look through everybody's unsubscribe and see their notes, but I did. And I went out and I messaged him. I said, man, thank you so much for that for that valuable feedback. It was much appreciated. I hope you have a great day. And so he messages me back and he's like, golly, man, like, he's like, you're relentless. Like, I'm starting to actually like you. Cause I mean, I'm email blasting everybody all the time. He was like, but don't you just get tired of getting email blasts over and over and over? And I said, listen, dog, I know how to hit the unsubscribe button, player. Like, it's not affecting me. I said, but here's the ultimate thing. I would rather have somebody be pissed at me and know me versus not be known at all. And I mean, his demeanor completely changed, and it was how I reacted to it. But yeah, I mean, and I'm past the point where I'm too vulnerable to be known. You know, it's like, hey, it's either people are going to like me or they're not. And you know, when I first got into the business, I was a trailblazer, and you know, whenever you're a trailblazer, sometimes you leave people burning behind. And so now, as a stepping up into leadership and managing it and owning the business, you know, now it's time to cultivate those relationships, you know, put out fires when they need to be put out. But I'll never, ever not be me. You know, like I'm always going to be me, and some people won't like that, and that's fine. You know, but those are the people that that would never do business with me anyways. So why waste my time with those people anyways? Might as well go out and make the biggest splash.
Maybe what happens is you impact their lives. Maybe they hit you up, they hit you right. They try to knock you down, and you're relentless. You said you're relentless, right? You begin to like you. Yeah. People start to like you. You know, it's you know, it could go the opposite way too, where you actually impact their lives and share something that you know changes their trajectory. Which is, it's actually kind of cool, you know?
It's really cool.
They may just have a voodoo doll with me, you know? They may just have a voodoo doll and like, I'm going to stab that guy now.
My brother, I was stabbing me too hard.
Oh, goodness. What, this is one thing that I kind of go over in everything that I do when I'm interviewing everybody. But with y'all's business, so to answer your question, yes, there is criticism that comes with everything, and Kayla, me and you had that conversation about like there's going to be hate no matter what, and I've got 2 videos I'm going to send you guys. I'm going to send you guys my soundtrack, and I'm going to send you guys a video when I'm talking about us, and I was talking about like, you know, haters are good, you know, to an extent. Like, don't hate unless it's been, you know, you that they're hating on. But what are some of the biggest or the most common myths about this model that you guys get?
Most common myths about our model about documenting over creating. Is that what you're saying?
You know, something of that nature. Like for y'all's business, like what would just be a common myth? And I've got one idea in my head, and I'll share with you guys here in a second. But I want to hear y'all's perspective on maybe some common myths that people get.
I think truly, like, we don't think about it much. Like, we're from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And as I look back on the year, I mean, we've been to Miami, we've been to California, we've been to London, we've been to Paris, we've been to Denver, we've been to Wisconsin, we've been to San Francisco, we've been to Nashville, we've been to Vegas. Like, we just go. And so we don't spend a lot of time reflecting.
It's pretty cool when you start to reflect, though. You start to look back at some of the things that you're doing. Wow. You're like, wow, like that was a lot. We did a lot this year. And it's been like that for years and years and years. Yeah. And sometimes you just forget, like, did we do that? Wow, that's crazy. So, I forgot about that, right?
I think one thing that I would say is that a myth about documenting is that we love the camera, or that it came natural for us to put ourselves out there.
That's a big one.
And it's unequivocally false. I mean, I love it now, but only because I know on the other side of it, there is a viewer and I'm connecting to that person. And only because I know that my impact can be greater because of this technology. And it's fascinating, and I'm so thankful for it. But I would say that it's a myth to think that anyone using a camera to document their journey, to make videos, to do stories, it's a myth to think that they're doing it because they like the camera. That's just not true. I think that you do it because you see the power in it, and you know that there's something inside of you that says there's something inside of me that is so unique, so amazing, so different. And this is my vehicle to share with the world. So I also think that a lot of people feel like you're self-absorbed because you're in front of the camera a lot.
Sure.
And again, I don't think that's, I think that's a false
totally
narrative.
False. Yeah, right. It's, we're definitely not self-absorbed, right? I mean, to me personally, I still don't like the camera. Kayla loves it. I don't mind it. I understand what it is. I understand why we do it, and it's very powerful, and it's helped us grow tremendously, and bring us so much opportunities. But yeah, it's I think that's a great myth that we're comfortable with it, that we love it, and that we're maybe narcissistic or we want people to see us all the time, but. We've had people say that. Oh, those are those people that have a camera guy falling all over the place, right?
Everywhere.
Like,
yeah.
Who do these people think they are? We get that. We get that all the time. But
I think that one thing that people don't take into consideration is how much freaking energy goes into being this plugged in. It's a commitment. It's a commitment to be at this high level. It's a commitment to dedicate yourself to where you are being exposed. Because here's the fact: when you are behind the camera, you're being exposed. So that you can't. And it also, in my opinion, it makes me elevate my game because I know that there is somebody that could potentially learn something from this, and it puts me on my toes. And there's times where I'm freaking gassed. And like Brian's like, look, we got to get out some content, man. Like we've got to go out and push some stuff out. And I'm like, dude, like I don't have anything left to give. And he's like, man, it's your moral obligation. Like you signed up for this. You've got to go out and exert more energy so that other people can have that content, so that you're actually practicing what you preach and you are providing that content. And I think that people they'll watch all these videos and they'll regress and they'll all the negative, not the positive. Like we live for the positive people, but all those people that are just thinking that it is narcissistic, that it is they just love being in front of the camera. I would dare them to spend 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. You know what? 1 hour, 60 minutes in front of a camera going balls to the wall, because it's draining mentally and physically. And I think that's one thing that I applaud you guys, because you guys are so plugged in and so tuned in that you guys are committed to the next level. And I know that takes up so much energy, and I know that can be daunting. So that's one thing that I really applaud you guys, because you are cultivating the way for everybody else and then leading by example as well.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I've never had anyone say that, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. Yeah.
Well, I know. Listen, there's times where he gets a camera out and I run. I'm like,
yeah, we've done that too. No, not today. Not today.
You know what? I will say, there's one regret I have, Jay, through this documenting process is about 3 months into documenting, I was audited by our Arizona Department of Real Estate. And I hid the audit from the camera. So our viewer didn't know that I was going through an audit.
Wow.
And looking back, like, I wish I would have shown it.
Yeah.
Because it was crazy and it's very empowering. And it turned out, like, I made our state's broker audit roll, like their honor roll. They loved my policy manual. They asked if they could share it. Like, it turned out to be like such a positive experience.
But it was stressful. We were like, no, keep the cameras away. We don't want. Like, what happens if they find something that get in trouble or something?
Or, perception can be a very tricky thing. And we have had a lot of, in our market area. It's interesting. I'll go to these national conferences and we'll talk about what we're doing, and everybody's like, oh my God, we love you guys. But here locally in our local market area, we are like people burn me at the stake all the time for like the stupidest stuff.
Set it on fire.
So I wish I would have shared the audit. So if there's anything I could, inspire.
Document everything, because we wish we would have had that on there. Yeah, that was definitely one of the most, like, it's a very stressful time, and but it's real. That's what's cool about it. And I think if we were able to just share that would. Looking back,
I would have been more vulnerable for me. That was the thing. It was a very vulnerable moment. I could have used it to inspire others so that when they have something they're going through, they could have looked back on that as a moment, but I didn't. I'm talking about it now, though.
No, listen. I mean, that's huge. You know, and I mean, just thinking about it, you know, makes me cringe. So I'm gonna let you guys handle that one, and Tennessee Real Estate Commission, stay the hell away from me. And so, guys, as we're wrapping this up, I always try to. I try to get everybody as connected as possible. Where can people connect with you? Or if somebody has a referral of sort or anything of that nature, where can people find you guys? What's the best way for somebody to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so obviously social media. We're on video all over the place. My Instagram is at Jason Laos. At Kayla Laos is her Instagram. We have a YouTube page, JK Realty YouTube
JK
page.
Realty, Facebook, JK Realty.
Yeah, we're in the Maricopa County area, which is the largest county in Arizona, most populated, and we'd love your referrals. So absolutely.
And we'd love to connect. If you're sitting out there and you're wondering, man, how can I implement video in my business? How can I implement social and digital strategies in my business? Hit us up. We love to share. Seriously, Jay, it's been so cool to see you and your journey implementing this piece, because you're already killing it. And I know a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, forget it. You're already unstoppable.
Yeah, it'll be 3,000 transactions a year for sure.
It's cool, right? And I see that. And so if you're wanting to get in on this space like Jay has, like Jason and I have, we'd love to inspire and connect with you.
I love it, guys. So we're wrapping things up and I'm going to have to steal the show here, guys. If any of JK's audience is tuning in, you guys can follow me. You can our Facebook page is just Our Home Real Estate. You can go to tnhomefinder.com, or you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all platforms at Coach J Combs. So I had to get my plug in there, guys. Hey, listen, leave if you guys don't mind, leave the audience with one unique value proposition or one bit of advice that you could share with everybody, and leave them off with a great note on a Monday.
All right.
You want to go first?
I'll let you go.
You just want me to take it?
You take it. She'll light it up. Watch
I will light it. No, I don't. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of
Bring
pressure.
the heat.
Don't give up. Don't give up. You're young. You have a lot of time left. You can do everything that you want. Just don't give up. Don't believe what people say, even if it's your best friend, even if it's your spouse, even if it's your mom. If you feel it inside, you got to go for it, because that's your dream and that was given to you. And I really believe that the world needs that special something that only you have. And get out there, keep shining, go big or go home.
I love it, guys. Well, thank you guys so much, man. It's been my pleasure to have you guys on here. I know that we've had a lot of questions. We've had a lot of comments. I've had people that are messaging me wanting to know more. So I really appreciate that. That means a lot. And man, listen, I hope you crush that commercial deal. If that's the case, and you guys want to come down, my way, or if y'all need us to travel out west, you just let me know, okay?
Yeah, for sure, man.
If any of your viewers have anything multifamily, I have a pension client that is looking to buy big portfolios.
They're hungry. Their appetite. Ooh, they're hungry.
Y'all heard it first. Listen, if y'all have some multifamily properties and want to get into a portfolio, message him below. You guys, he's tagged on here, so connect with him. What a great resource to be able to connect and use this platform this way. And it's a way to get a little.
If you're an agent, I'll even share in the commission with you. Woo! So you find those big deals, and I'll get them done for you.
I love it. All right, guys, listen, y'all crush it today.
All right, you too, buddy.
Bye.
See you around.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Namaste.
Namaste.